everyone, and welcome to another brand new episode of Topic
Thunder.
Here from the Top 10 Show, I'm John Roca.
And I am Matt Nost. This is a show that we do each and every week for our patrons over at patreon.com/the top 10 with the number 10. And there's an email over there. They send in topics for us to talk about. We don't know what they are before we get them. So it's a surprise to us, just like it is to you. And we answer away. And I believe it's your turn to start this time.
Yeah, I think so. All right, we'll start with Tim Williams. He says, our Aussie friend Tim Williams says, "Hey, blokes, hope things are well. Fellas, we often hear about guilty movie pleasures. We don't really hear about guilty music pleasures. Oh, myself, I'm a fan of One Direction, and I'm not ashamed of it. Not really into their full pop songs, but I really do love a handful of their slower songs like You and I and Night Changes. Anyway, what's some of your guilty music pleasures? Hooroo, Timothy R. Williams." Matt knows.
I will tell you this much. I woke up for some reason singing the old cotton jingle, the touch, the feel, the fabric of our lives. I was singing that to myself. I woke up, popped up the fucking pillow for some reason. I was singing the old cotton jingle. Is that Aaron Neville? I believe it's Aaron Neville.
I think it might be. You might be right. Yeah. I just remember Jordan with the Hitler mustache doing those cotton commercials. It was really weird.
Well, I almost got one of those, man. I was fucking so close. And I saw the dude they cast. It was the one, if you remember, he was on a plane.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Yeah. So the dude he interacts with, I got avails on that.
Oh.
But that dude did books all the time.
Right.
That's what I ran into as a problem of I lose out to, well, that fucking dude books 20 commercials a year. It's great I made avails. I'm losing to this. I was losing to like 6 guys over and over and over again. It was frustrating.
It happens in the voiceover industry too. They're like,
I'm sure.
This guy again. Damn it. I was right there. It's between me and him. Oh, you're going with the guy who has 675 credits to his resume. All right.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Which I understand.
Of course.
But it's like, well, shit.
Would have been nice to have that.
It would have been nice. Plus, it's Jordan. I'm a Bulls fan.
Yeah.
He's the reason I'm a Bulls fan, for Christ's sakes.
I don't know if I've ever asked you this. Have you ever met Jordan?
No, I have not.
Wow. Anybody from those championship teams? Have you ever met anybody like Pippen or Rodman or Paxson?
I came within
3
minutes of meeting Derrick Rose.
Oh, shit.
I showed up to the store and my buddy, he's a bartender there, but he's also from Chicago. And he's like, dude, you just missed Derrick Rose. And I'm like, what? And he's like, yeah, he just walked out. He came for like the 8:00 show and then he's done. I was like, motherfucker.
Wow.
But no, I have not met any of the championship individuals.
All right.
I did walk past the Warriors after they won their championship. They were at the Grove eating at an outdoor table, and they
just hanging out after they won the title.
I mean, not like the next day, but as a team, they were all hanging out at the fucking Grove.
Wow.
Eating at that restaurant that's next to the farmer's market, but it's not part of the farmer's market. It's like, that street that bisects where the main section of the Grove is over here. And then you cross that weird little street that I can't believe they let cars drive through.
Oh, yeah.
And there's those couple stores. It was a restaurant on the left-hand side if you're walking towards the
Was it the Greek restaurant? There used to be the Greek restaurant.
Can't remember what it is, but it's on the left. And they had a long outdoor table. And I looked over and I was like, what's the Warriors?
If it's before the newsstand, then it's a Greek restaurant. If it's after the newsstand, I don't know what it is.
I think it was before the newsstand.
Yeah,
you're talking about the one that's straight ahead. It's almost like a kiosk, but it's a firm.
It was called like Odysseus or Homer's Odyssey or something like that, is because it was a Greek restaurant. I ate there a few times. Good damn food. So yeah, totally.
Oh, well, good for them.
Makes sense. Yeah,
but no, I can't say that. As far as guilty music pleasures, the other thing is I don't.
Oh, come on, cut it out.
No, I don't. I don't view music to me as like, I don't know, man, when it hits you. Like, I like all kinds of different pop music that the artist is clowned on. Be like, yeah, but you can't deny that is an excellent song.
So you live in this world where whatever you like, you don't feel guilty about.
And also, I don't begrudge anyone for liking the music they like, because music hits you in a very specific way.
Yeah,
I mean, do you feel guilt about liking specific shit? Because
I'm sure there are boy band stuff that I feel guilty about that I like, or maybe some Debbie Gibson stuff, or maybe Barry Manilow, which a lot of people tear apart, but I love Barry Manilow. Air Supply, I really like Air Supply. I love a lot of the soft rock stuff, so it's like that that can get you a little of the needle for sure at times. But
Do you listen to Yacht Rock on Sirius or
I love
whatever?
yacht rock. Jesus Christ, yacht rock is what I listen to in the shower, man. That's like a peaceful existence for about 10 minutes, man. Yeah, I
Okay.
love yacht rock.
Yeah, I've never actually listened to any boy band stuff, but I'm not against
Yeah.
it. I mean, there's a reason they sold 7 bajillion
Oh yeah, of course.
singles across all the different, bands. Like this
Yeah.
shit is hooky. It's,
This shit
it is.
hooky.
Although I heard the Blake Shelton, with Stefani's
Oof.
Christmas song.
Ooh,
I don't know that she has the voice for a Christmas song.
it's been around for 3 years. That song, I think.
Has it really?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just heard
but
it.
It's a rough listen to sometimes. You're right. Actually, her voice is not naturally like
Yeah.
this is I'm just a girl, and all of a sudden you're like, I love Christmas. And it's like, wait, what? Wait,
Well, she does the vocal little hooks
Yes.
of like the breathiness and whatnot. That doesn't. I don't know. It feels weird to hear it in a Christmas song, whereas his voice is
Yeah.
perfectly fine for a Christmas tune.
Oh yeah, because it's Shelton, you know.
Yeah, but I heard it last night. Catherine said she heard it on the way home. And I was like, oh, that makes sense. They're a couple and it's Christmas time. Why not? And she's like, you've never heard it? And I was like, I don't want to. And she's like, well, I'm playing it.
Is it the one that's like you make it feel like
Yeah,
Christmas?
Christmas,
Yeah.
Well, it just starts with his verse, and you're like,
2018.
yeah,
Yeah.
2018. Yeah. I'd never heard it until last night.
Yeah, because she's like, ooh,
Yeah.
yeah,
You
it feels
say-
weird.
And she does the little like sighs and pants and stuff. And you're like, this doesn't feel right.
It just feels weird. You're right. That's such
Uh,
an unusual pairing, those two. What an unusual pairing.
Well, the voice brought people together.
I guess so. I'm sure Gavin Rossdale's like, I don't know, man. Not that he's in any room to talk, but I'm sure he's just like, that seems weird.
Buddy of mine, his wife likes to go and pick fresh vegetables at farms.
Okay.
So there's a bunch of farms around here that you can do that. But
Yes.
it's like they live up in the valley, and there was one they'd go to pretty consistently, and he'd see Gavin and Gwen.
Really?
Yeah, it was like they were vegetable picking buddies, and they never said anything more than hi.
Right.
Just because he wasn't happy to be there,
Right.
and he could give two shits about Gavin Rossdale and Gwen
Yeah,
Stefani.
exactly.
But he was like, it is weird that I see them like, I don't know, every couple months. It's like, well, you like your fresh veggies.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he'd bitch about all the fresh vegetables populating their kitchen.
She was probably the brighter of the two in terms of lightness. She probably was the brighter light, and he was more of the dour. And of course, he cheated on her a few times, so doesn't help the situation. But so maybe she is a lot happier with someone like Shelton, who seems like pretty chill, pretty nice guy. Yeah, not that I'm into any of the gossip or know anything about this. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I don't have the slightest clue. I didn't know that Gavin Rossdale cheated on her.
Yeah. Oh,
so there you go.
That was a big deal. All right. Thank you, Tim. Appreciate it. I'm sure there are other people. How about that? It's Barbra Streisand. I listen to Barbra Streisand. There's some Barbra Streisand songs I like. I'm sure I feel guilty about it. I would never play that out loud in front of people, but there are some things that I like. And usually it's the stuff that the Bee Gees wrote for her, because I'm a huge Bee Gees guy. And some of the Barry Gibb stuff that he wrote for her, I think is fucking some of the best stuff she's ever sang. So I'll just throw that out there. So
I never understood Streisand.
Really? Wow.
Nope.
Okay.
I don't get why she was a movie star. And then the music to me is fine.
Okay.
So for her to be elevated to this like generational talent that she apparently still walks on, water now with a certain demographic.
Oh yeah.
To me is bananas. And like, really? Are you listening to and watching the same thing I am? It's fine.
And she's attracted some interesting dude. Like Don Johnson was with her. Andre Agassi was with her. Omar Sharif apparently had an affair with her. And so, it must be something. She's got some kind of energy, man.
Yeah. Good for her. I mean, I don't begrudge her success.
Good for you, Babs.
Good for you. It just, to think that at one point she was easily the biggest star.
Oh, yeah.
Or in the conversation overall of the biggest star in Hollywood, to me is just crazy talk.
Yeah. And then the 80s started, and that was that.
Well, we all get older, and, you lose. The next generation comes up, and they don't want their parents' stars. They want their own. I mean, I do it now with
That's a good point.
People that are huge. I'm like, I have no fucking clue who you are. Literally no idea who you are.
I just hear names in the wind now. I don't.
Oh yeah, and
I
it's
rarely
always
listen to new stuff.
for some reason the trend of Lil this and that
Yeah.
didn't die off and gain steam. It's like I thought that was stupid when it first came around, and now we're continuing.
Yeah.
I just found fucking that stupid TikTok song "Island Boys"
Oh yeah. Yes.
and the two idiots that sing that. It came up on Twitter and
Yeah.
someone just captioned with "The Earth is healing," and it was them playing at some club or something in Miami, and they got booed off stage. And I never heard of them. I was like, "What is this?" So then I searched them up and I saw it, and then I found reaction videos of people clowning on them. Like, what are they even saying? They're not. It's all gibberish. But it's like this is an entire generational phenomenon for the past few months. No idea it existed.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty funny. So there you go. All right. So let's move on to our next question here, man. What do you got?
All right. This one's from Peter. It says, "Hi, guys. So I realize this isn't exactly show related, but figured that it's Topic Thunder and anything goes. So here's my question. Matt, I know you've done a bunch of repair stuff around your house. Pulling out tree stumps must have been a nightmare, and I'm thankful my question isn't anything like that. I want to know what tools you think I should invest in to start doing some repairs around the house myself. Right now, I'm just general maintenance things, but I'd like to branch out and do more eventually. Where do you start with all this stuff? It seems so overwhelming. Also, do you have any other nightmare stories like the tree trunk that you'd like to share? And not to leave you out, John, seeing as you've mentioned in the past, you don't really enjoy these types of projects. Here's a question you both should be able to answer. What is a hobby or skill you think you'd like to try your hand at? I'm assuming that's supposed to say. You guys are the best, and I look forward to your shows every week. Keep up the great work. Thanks, Pete.
Dude, take this. Go ahead, man. I got nothing to offer here. I don't do hobbies or skills, so please go ahead.
Yeah, there's not a hobby that you want to?
Nah, I'm good. I like
nothing
my
you want to pick up?
My hobby is what I do for a living: watching movies, talking about movies, watching sports, talking about sports. So yeah, no, I don't want to stamp collect. I don't want to learn to build a tree house. I just don't have those impulses. Anything I want to do, I've done. So I don't like, I don't mean I've completed it or that if I've wanted to do it, I've done it. So I don't have the impetus to do anything else.
Pick up rock climbing?
No, thanks. Or nope. Or jumping out of skydiving. Nah. I mean, I'll do it once, I'm sure, at some point down the road, but it's not something that I'm like striving to do, Yeah, I'm just weird like that, I guess, But please answer. He asked you a lot of questions. Please take it away, my man. I'm quite happy to sit back on this one.
Sure. Well, I don't know what you have as far as tools right now. So I guess let's just assume you have nothing. My biggest piece of advice is A, do your research, which you should be doing that anyways to what you're looking for. But B, start small. Don't try and buy everything at once. So pick a project and start with that project, figure out the tools that you need for it, but invest in good tools because they'll last you, if they're good enough, 15, 20, 25 years. Some of them won't, but so I think right out the gate, get a good drill and driver set. That'll make the biggest difference in all of your life. I am personally a fan of DeWalt, but find whichever brand you like. I also like Makita and Bosch for other things. Some people are Milwaukee fans, but for my drills, I like DeWalt. So start there and get to know your impact driver. It makes a world of difference. I didn't use mine for the first year and a half when I got my first drill and driver set 10 years ago. And then one day my battery was drained on the other one. It was across the garage and I didn't feel like getting it. So I grabbed the impact driver and I was like, holy shit, why have I not been using this? So that, and I would get a multi-tool. I have a Dremel, it's a corded, but if you're already going with a cordless, like DeWalt or something like that, DeWalt makes a cordless as well that goes with the same battery pack system. But those two, drill and driver set and a multi-tool, between those two, you should be able to tackle quite a few jobs and make maintenance around the house much easier. The multi-tool doesn't look like it at first, but I have used that thing for more random jobs than any other tool I own. And I think it's fantastic. So there it is. There's your two.
There you
But
go.
start small. I have accrued over time, and now I have a shitload of tools. But it always started with, I'm doing this job. I have this. I need one more. Did my research, added the one more, and then moved on from there. But if you try and buy it all at once, you're just throwing a bunch of money down the drain. You don't know exactly what you want yet. So there you go.
Yeah. Well said. Well said. All right. Shall we move on to our next one?
Sure. Let's do it.
Okay. David Barangi says, "Hey, man, John, with the holidays fast approaching and Christmas about a month away, here are my questions. What are your Thanksgiving food staples, your must-haves? Do you overfill your plate or take multiple trips? What's one Thanksgiving food you can do without? At Christmas, what are some great gifts you've received over the years? What about some bad ones? Any good stories from Christmas Day you'd like to share? Thanks, guys. Enjoy your holidays and let's go Chiefs." All right. There you go, Dave. All right. Matt.
Good luck to your Chiefs.
Yeah, good luck to your Chiefs. They seem to be on the upswing, but if these Broncos beat them this weekend, the Broncos are in first place in the AFC West, and no one saw that coming.
Yeah, it's the NFL is so strange this year.
It really is weird. Are we are we going to cancel each other out? Like, what's the deal?
It's very close.
Do I still have a chance
to not pay me? Yes. To get
Okay.
paid? No.
Oh, okay. All right.
So you owe me $5 as of right now.
What? How can that be?
Because you took the over on your win total,
which was what, 7? I think it was 7.
No. You said you guys were going 12-5.
I never said. That's insane for you to think that I would say that. Somebody find the video. I think I only said 7 wins.
No, because we went through the schedule and you're like, I got us at like 11-6 or 12-5, and I was like, well, what do you want? And I believe you took either 11-6 or 12-5. Someone could find the video.
Yeah,
right now you owe me $5. But had we not gotten screwed by the refs, I might have a chance of keeping that $5. But I'm pretty sure that they're gonna cancel each other out.
Yeah. What was yours?
I said 7 and 9.
Oh yeah.
Or 7 and 10 actually.
Right now you're 4 and 7.
Yeah. I just don't see it happening.
Yeah, you got a rough schedule to end the year.
Exactly.
Vikings
and we
twice,
like that Pittsburgh
Cardinals,
game.
Packers.
We probably should have gone our way.
Yeah. Whoa.
We've had a couple of those games where just like I had it broke our way, but I just don't see it. So it could be a wash. But right now you owe me $5.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to spend that $5.
Please.
Thanksgiving food. All right. So what? Let's see. What are the staples? Well, I mean, it's turkey. Although my father-in-law is taken to replacing it with a brisket, and I am much more enjoying the brisket, to be perfectly honest.
Oh, nice.
Stuffing, mashed potatoes, rolls, bunch of carbs, and some gravy. Those are probably the main staples. But I look forward the most to stuffing and mashed potatoes and the roll. So all the carbs. Those are my favorite things about Thanksgiving. What are your staples?
Definitely turkey, and not slices. I like it to be the leg. Definitely. My number one thing is the turkey leg. Pecan pie.
Okay.
Stuffing with gravy. Got to have stuffing. Sometimes stovetop does the job. It's enough for me to do the job. And then if there's rolls, crescent rolls with a little bit of butter is perfect. Yeah. Do I overfill my plate? No, I make 2 trips tops nowadays. In the past, maybe 3 or 4 trips because I was working out a lot so I could burn off the stuff.
Sure.
What's one Thanksgiving food you can do without? Probably cranberry sauce. I've never had any interest in cranberry sauce.
Me too.
Cranberry sauce.
My family never did it. So the fact that it's like some big staple on other tables, like I don't understand it. And then like this year I had heard a debate of fresh cranberry sauce versus the canned stuff. And I was like, I've never even seen fresh made. I've only seen people slop out the canned stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't get it. I don't understand the appeal of it personally.
Yeah.
So pecan pie, my grandpa used to make that
pie
for Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Yeah.
But pumpkin pie is the bigger to me on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I hate pumpkin pie. I'm not a pumpkin pie guy.
Sounds like you're not American. What do you mean you hate pumpkin pie at Thanksgiving? What does that mean? Although I had the most mediocre pumpkin pie this year, but
I'm sorry.
Yeah, like they ended up giving me the whole pie to take home for some reason.
Wow.
Yes. And I
It's
was like, I don't need this much pie, guys. I love pie, but it turned to a gelatinous mush by the next day, and it's
it's not
pumpkin pie.
hard to make terrible pecan pie.
No, it's
Most
not.
pecan pie is pretty terrible. No offense. I mean, I'm sorry. Most pumpkin pie is
Pumpkin
pretty
pie?
terrible. It's not that hard to make terrible pumpkin pie because it's not good. I don't get it why people love it so much. It's just not my jam.
I think
Not
it's
at all.
just simple. It just got a simple flavor profile.
Right. Whereas pecan, you're going on a journey with pecan pie. It's great. The nuts, the caramel that's inside, the gelatinous underneath, the gelatinous filling underneath, the crust itself. It's a whole journey, my man. So,
Oh, dude, you're preaching to the choir. I've made
Mm.
pecan pie for a couple
No,
holidays.
right on.
I've yet to make a genuinely good one. They've been okay. One year I cooked it just a little bit too long, and it turned the bottom layer into like a hard candy
Yeah.
because there's so much fucking sugar in it. It was still good, but it was like this chewy deliciousness. Let's be
Yeah.
perfectly honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love me a pecan pie. And as far as I think I fill the first round, and then second round I just go back for like little bits.
Yeah.
But I overfill my plate the first time and then eat through that like an animal. And then I go back and I'm just like, well, I'll get a little more stuffing and a little more of this
Yeah.
and have some sort of vegetable to make myself feel better about the 5,000 calories that I just had.
Yeah. What are some of the great gifts you've received over the years, Matt? Or what are some of the bad ones? Do you have any good stories?
Well, good gifts, I always, appreciate anytime someone's like, oh, I saw this and thought of you.
Yeah. Right.
So they put
Those
some
always
thought
nice.
into it, as opposed to the obligatory, I spend whatever on everybody. So what do you want? And like, I hate giving a gift card.
Yeah.
Or receiving one. It's just like, you know what? I have money. You don't have to get me a gift card. It's fine.
Yeah.
That type of stuff. But my favorite gifts over the years, Catherine got us rather, tickets to see Rickles before he passed.
Oh shit, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's great.
I had a pair of slippers my mom got me when I was leaving the house, and I just threw them away 2 years ago. And I text her. I was like, I know you don't care, but I've been using these slippers for 20 years and they're finally dead. This was an awesome Christmas gift, so you know. And she was like, I got you those? And I'm like, yes. When I was 18, you got me these, and I've been using them ever since.
Oh my God, that's great.
And they were just trashed, but they're so good. So something like that. Just either something I'll get use of, like a practical that for some reason I don't already have, or the Rickles tickets. I know you like him, and he's coming. He's going to be in town. Let's go see Rickles. Let's go see Rickles. What about you?
Awesome. It's tough because I don't remember much from being a kid at Christmas. Like, did my parents ever surprise me with stuff? I don't remember. I just remember we didn't get much. We got one gift from each parent and one gift from our brother or sister, like depending on, what year it was, And so for me, that's and I remember just asking for what I want. And then if they could get it, great. If it was the knockoff version of it, because it's what we could afford, that's what I got. And so that was what I remember. Now, as I've gotten older, I know that my Shannon and Michael and Geek Buddy, they will occasionally like get me a shirt that's really cool, like a geek shirt or a sports type related shirt. And so I always appreciate the inventiveness of that, because they're my friends. They listen to what I talk about, and they've made a point of finding a shirt they think is perfect for me. That's always cool. It's always a nice surprise. But I know that the first Christmas we were together, Lindley kind of was incredible with the gifts that she gave me. She got me a personalized leather wallet made because she saw that my wallet was kind of like getting fraying at the edges. And it was my dad's wallet. So after my father had passed, I took his wallet. My mom had given me a choice of what to take, and I took his watch and his wallet. And so I had been using his wallet, but after a while it had kind of frayed. So she got me this really cool wallet, which I still use today. And she went to a cigar store, and she actually sat there with a dude for like 45 minutes, apparently, figuring out what the right cigars were for me, and picked them out and got a humidor for them. And I just was blown away by the thoughts that went into both of those gifts from her. And it just, she's a great gift giver, man. And she loves finding these unique, funny, sarcastic cards. And so I think most recently, that's the Christmas gifts that I can remember that were just kind of like awesome, and really cool story. In terms of bad gifts, I don't know that I've ever gotten a bad Christmas gift or have a bad Christmas story around it, I was always happy for
Um,
whatever I got.
I mean, I'm sure I've said it at some point on the show, but
Mm.
the one that jumps out, when I was 18, I had asked, so my sister and I would get each other like CDs or something for Christmas. And I asked for a double live of Pink Floyd. It was called Pulse. And she couldn't find it. They were sold out. So my brother was in town from college and convinced her to get me a Star Wars Micro Machine set. And I wasn't anticipating it. I hadn't owned anything Star Wars since I was a little kid.
Yeah.
And I was expecting to open a Pink Floyd double live album. And instead I open up a Micro Machines little mini play set with these tiny figures that are like a half-inch tall.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, what am I supposed to do with this? I'm 18 years old. Like, I had nothing to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
Now it would sit on my desk or something adorned somewhere. But at the time it was, that to me was, I'm not a kid. I don't get toys anymore. I don't need toys type of things. And my sister was like, I knew you wouldn't like it because I thought it was dumb, but Jay was convinced it was the coolest thing he'd ever seen. Perhaps in hindsight now, I would think it's the coolest thing ever. But when I was 18, I was like, what am I going to do with Micro Machines?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's pretty rare when somebody has gotten me a really terrible gift.
Yeah.
I remember gifts when I was a kid from my aunts and uncles.
Yeah.
Who were nice enough to get me something, and it was never anything that I specifically asked for, but they weren't like the worst gifts ever. It was just like, oh, this is random, but I guess it's kind of something I'm interested in.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's a bad gift necessarily.
I will say I did have one terrible experience, and I've spoken about this maybe on the show or maybe on a couple of the shows. Like, I remember when I was a teenager, later teens, maybe 18, 19 years old. 15, maybe 15, 16. I remember going to a family Christmas with my father's family. And I remember that my late grandmother, she had been staying with another set of my cousins and my aunt and uncle, or my aunt rather, and her children. She was, she apparently knew what everybody got and was getting rather. And she took it upon herself to decide who deserved the better gifts. And it happened to be the kids who were there taking care of her, living in the house or whatever. So I caught her changing the names on the gifts. Like, I came up the stairs from where we were hanging out downstairs in the basement, all the cousins hanging out and stuff. I had come up the stairs and I kind of opened the door a little bit. She didn't hear me. And I watched for like 5 minutes to make sure that I understood what I was watching. And she was changing the names on the gifts so that the kids who were my cousins who were the children of the my aunt and uncle that she was staying with were going to get the more expensive gifts and the better gifts. And this caused a shit ton of drama because I went to my mom and my dad and I said, this is what I saw. And I don't know if it's the truth, but I think you should go take a look at the gifts that you were going to give out and see if the right ones are going to the right people. And this caused a shit ton of drama because initially there was denials, and then they brought the gifts out and started looking. And my aunt and uncles of the other families were like, no, that was supposed to go to blah, blah, blah. And that was supposed to go to blah, blah, blah. So she was caught red-handed, and she never fucking forgave me after that, man. But fuck her for doing that. So I was so mad. It was like one of those like kind of breaking of your innocence moments that your own grandmother would sit there and try to give better gifts to people who she was staying with over people she wasn't staying with. It was fucking dirty, dirty shit, man. And so when I found out more about her as I got older, I found out how much of a shitty person she really was. So it's just like, fuck this, man. I used to feel guilty about it when I was younger, but as I got older and found out all this stuff, I was like, yeah, no, I'm gonna let that go, man.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm good.
Exactly. Crazy.
Yeah, my brother destroyed the idea of Santa for me when I was a kid.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was like 7 or 8.
Yeah.
And I was talking about Santa Claus, and he was like, Santa's not real. And I'm like, yeah, okay. And he was like, oh, yeah? Go down into the basement, which we didn't go to as kids because it was like now everybody's basement is refinished and nice.
Oh, yeah. Right. Back then,
and ours was, my dad had a bench to work out down there.
Yeah.
and that was it.
Yeah.
It smelled like WD-40. That's what
No.
so when I smell
Hoarder's
WD-40
fantasy.
now. It was like Home Alone when he runs down in the big scary furnace, except our basement wasn't anywhere near that big. It was a tiny little. I didn't go down in the basement ever unless all the lights were on, and it was an old house. It was like a 120-year-old house, so like the basement wasn't made for anything other than fucking a root cellar or some shit.
Yeah.
But for some reason there was a shower down there, which basically it was like just a closet door that opened up, and suddenly there was a shower right there.
Yeah.
There's no way this thing was waterproof, but there was just all our presents unwrapped sitting on the ground. And I was like, oh my God, there's no Santa.
Yeah.
And I didn't care because I was like, oh my, there's this. And I saw like the two things that I actually wanted. And I was like, I'm getting them. So I didn't really care. Now it was a matter of waiting like 2.5, 3 weeks, knowing I'm getting precisely. Although I did when I was 15. Yeah. My room at our house was above the living room, I guess, where the Christmas tree was. And I didn't know what I was getting. I wanted to start playing the guitar. So I'd asked for a guitar, and I took a mirror and I extended a bunch of clothes hangers, and I put the mirror out, and I made this little intricate system to dangle the mirror in front of the window down there and see if I could glean what my parents were putting underneath the tree on Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
That was the last time I did any kind of scheme. I think it's probably the only time I did an actual scheme, but yeah, I remember that one.
That's funny as shit, man. So funny. All right. Well, I think we should wrap it up there. We're at 32 minutes. Let's wrap up this episode of Topic Thunder. Thank you all so much.